Hello, hello, hello! Welcome and well met! Welcome to the stream! Today is more the Great Ace Attorney. And sorry for the bit of a little delay. I don't know why it took so long to connect the YouTube to the stream, but it did, and I don't know what to do about it. Alright. I don't know what went wrong, but it finally connected after a bit. I am blinking way too much. I don't think I'm blinking that much. Hold on. We're at settings. Okay. I don't think this is seen. No. Anyway, okay. Okay, now that I'm blinking an appropriate amount. Okay. Alright, so we are still in the first case, which is, I know, like, tutorial, but this is the Great Ace Attorney, so the tutorial thing is still really good, and honestly, it really does do a good job of setting up the game. So I'm excited because we're in the second half, and that means this is when we get to the good parts, and we get to be shown the person who actually whodunit, and we get to do objection, and I am excited, so let's jump into this. I need to click this. Okay, help. You need to go, little buddy. Thank you. Alright. Now, as you can see, I already started up. It just said location, as you can see. So there is no sound right now. Okay. I'm like, is there no sound because I forgot to turn the audio on, or is there just no sound? There is just no sound right now. Okay. Give me a heart attack, why don't you, game? Okay, let me read this out. My throat's gonna hate me today. 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary. I don't think that's the right word. Defendants, Antechamber 5. Sorry, somebody just woke up. I'm not alone. Oh my gosh, there's people near Leona. Oh no. But yeah, no, I'm not on my own. So there I might be just like, if you see me do this and start talking, it's probably because I'm yelling down the hallway to where people can hear me. I'm sorry in advance, I guess. I'm not sure. Okay. Kazuma! Excellent work, Ryunosuke. Superb. I need to adjust other things again. I was messing with settings. It's just a little wonky. But now that I'm actually using it more than like 2 seconds. Okay. I'm sorry. He's just like, Kazuma's like, I'm so proud of you. And Ryunosuke is just going, oh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. He's just so unhappy. I mean, I can't blame the poor guy. I forgot. I'm pretty sure Kazuma's 23-ish. I think Ryunosuke's 20. Neither of them are teenagers. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I forgot to check their ages. I meant to do that again, refresh my memory, but yeah, they are older. It was most unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You're drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started to find inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent from being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I ever get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. About that. You're gonna want to. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Oh, hello, Fruit. Welcome, welcome. Wing. Miss Giselle Brat. The reason why I called the name of this stream Just a Brat is because that's the name pun. Just a Brat. I'm never gonna get over that. Every time I say it, it makes me giggle. I'm like, her name is just a brat. Because she's just a brat. Okay. Can you tell I've played this game before? Because I have. I guess I should mention that in the start of the stream. This is my second time ever playing through this, so I am excited. Because, you know, it's only my second time playing through this game that I love so much. I get to see all the foreshadowing and try to not spoil it for everyone who's new. The name puns and Ace Attorney great. They really are. I love them. I'm a bit sad because the names are in Japanese, and I'm like, I don't know Japanese names well enough to know the puns, but the Japanese names also have puns. It's still great. Yeah, Miss Giselle Brat, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There's a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun laying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, there was a gunshot. Which didn't hurt my ears this time. I don't know what I did with the audio, but it's not as loud. I'm happy about that. I was kind of going like, my ears every time that sound effect went off last time. Okay. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. As thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I had no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. I think it's this... yeah, it's... Miko... oh, Miko. Miko Toba. Miko Toba. Miko Toba? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Professor Miko Toba. Well, seems I was right. Pair of you make an outstanding team. You exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Mikoto is a sneaky man. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why... I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you feel that way. Okay. I can't read from here. Give me a second. Okay. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Alright. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he did say the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at Yume. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget that who we are going up against. A gentlewoman whose involvement in our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. I have no doubt that you paired... Oh, okay, I get the sentence. I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Gesundheit! I got it. I'm sorry, you didn't hear that. That was funny. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. Something I think we may need. Susato! Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-san. Little bow. Bye, Susato! Susato-san! I like Susato. If you couldn't tell. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Every time he says that, I'm like, cowboy. I hope I'm not the only one. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what hit them. Ah, it's playing his theme again. Kazuma. What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then... I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Aw, friendship! If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. It's the kind of true friend he is. Oh, this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. These two are adorable. Friendship. Love to see it. Yeah, it's afternoon, 22nd, 12:09, Supreme Court of Judicature? Judicature? I'm still not sure how to pronounce that. That's gonna be a running theme. I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh, great. Okay, he's like super deep voice. Neat. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, you have managed to subpoena the witness. I think that was the word. I'm not entirely sure sometimes of the words. Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young... Strapling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government. Oh, sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. Nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think that it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation flounders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nation is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Kazuma is just out swinging. There's poor Ryunosuke is just like, oh, jeez, this is all too heavy and too much for me. And Kazuma's just like, don't know, don't care. I'm not necessarily don't know, but you know the attitude. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? Secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Panicking again. I won't deny that I'm no expert, just a student. And one who could arguably study harder, too. Standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Mino, she sweat with that. Oh, even the judge is shocked. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. Yeah, he's really fucked out. You little brats! Thank you, Consul. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance? Yeah, the pursuance of truth. That in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Ms. Giselle Brat. Yes. Your Excellency! Face desk. Hello. Swanee lady. Hello. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea. I love those tales. So, ahem. Can we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. Hosonaga. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival. Yes, we know about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, how are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description... Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. He's so unimpressed he's doing the pose! Kazuma really takes no prisoners in anything. It's kind of funny for that. Guilty. Ryunosuke's just like guilty as charged. Okay. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. And she has a mask. I feel always like I should be able to read this, but I also can't. I wonder if it's written in that doctor script. They have no idea what she just said. She's speaking in English, by the way. They are speaking in Japanese. It's a little harder to tell that, given that this is the English version. And everyone speaks in English. But yeah, the Japanese people, shockingly, in the game are, like, within the lore and stuff, they are speaking Japanese. They don't know what English she just said. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? Hosanaga's talking. And now Giselle is talking. The lady says her name is Giselle Brat. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in UMay University's medical facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. But I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. Hummingbird's song is beautiful? They usually sound really cranky and chirpy. And, like, crispy. One of my friends likes to put. But okay! Agree to disagree, I guess. Or this man's never heard a hummingbird before. Are there hummingbirds in Japan? I feel like I should know that. But nothing's coming to mind. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Haha, you obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention to your English classes, Ryunosuke. Why'd I forget? I'm just like, what voice am I supposed to be doing? Just drop a little star on my head, why don't you? The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brat. Oh, hello, Alice. Welcome, welcome. 3 days ago, at the restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Okay, they're talking. I'm just gonna skip through that. I don't think it actually can be read. I think it's... She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. Well, she was asked in Japanese, so she's responding. Ooh, a mysterious lady is into the courtroom. Yeah, Giselle Brat. Speaking... I like the little animations with Hosonaga. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says she was due to make a presentation at university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. And you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Okay, speaking. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Ryunosuke's freaking out. Order! Order in the court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it seems it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Kazuma's ready to swing. Kazuma's ready to draw his sword and start fighting. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you describe. And more things I can't read. Even if it is legible, I'm like, I don't know. Frightening and sorrowful sight. Okay, she's speaking. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. She's talking. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously it couldn't have been the culprit. That's a weird thing to say. Yes! Condemning... Ryunosuke! No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, black-hearted blackguard. And now the Snow White... And now look at the Snow White Angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like yourself... Oh wait, scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You must have blurred out when you're goaded like that. There's a lesson you need to learn. Ugh, that was so annoying! Of course, I was there at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brat was not involved, so I let her go. The testimony of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Do you know how much room there is you could have hidden pockets in a crinoline? Because she probably is having a bustle-type crinoline under that dress to get that shape. So, bullpucky. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Ryunosuke's like, I'm not buying it either. Until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart. Oh, she's smirking. You little so-and-so. Little brat. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Yay. Cross-examination. Yep, Cypher. Okay, so it's just gonna be... Oh, there's the- I'm like, where are the dots that show me which testimony I'm on? And I'm just, where did they go? I'm like, oh right, they're above the box over there. Okay. Slightly late lunch. I guess I'm gonna press on everything. Nothing stand out to me immediately, so. After 2 p.m. in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are in vogue, isn't that right? No. What a decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. On the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brat and the victim were to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic, and a shining example of English intelligence that this fine gentlewoman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? That was a lot of talking. Okay.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hotta Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brat aware of that fact? Seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. Oh, that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured there. Is that right, Miss Brat? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Oh, I think I know what I have to do with that line of questioning. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on a far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear or crush the evil fiend that has subjugated you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Oop, wrong accent. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness' last statement? Very meaningful. There's no water pictured there in the photo. That last statement of yours, Miss Brat, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, Well, the picture isn't accurate. Ryunosuke, did you... The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well, Miss Brat. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she says. Stupid lady. That was brilliant, Kazuma. Going to remember that one. Which one? Significance that will become apparent when the time is right. Could really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. I love it whenever picture Kazuma just sort of like, Ryunosuke, why? Okay, let me check the court record. Yeah, this is... there's only one glass. Okay, so there is one glass, but there's not two glasses. Okay. Do I'm gonna save it. I don't know if I can do this yet or not, but I'll see. Okay, yeah, that's on 3. I'm like, I can't tell where. Save it quickly in case I got this wrong. Because I have a bad... It's kind of bad because I'll figure something out and I'll be trying to get to it, but it's like the characters haven't figured it out and I'm like, gosh dang it, say this. But you know, it's a scripted game, so you gotta do it in the right order. But let's see if I can do this now or not. Yes! Oh, the music stopped, so yes I can. I love his face! Because it's somewhat silly when he does that animation, but it also is very much the definition of dawning realization, and I adore the animation. The animations are really nice in this game. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defendant's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers. Miss Brat just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah. Quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pitcher here. Objection! Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? Minutia. Oh wait, that's minutia. Whoops. What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case? Objection! Kazuma actually does a proper objection. I like how Ryunosuke up to the is still just going yes for all his introductions. But you got Kazuma going saying the proper words. Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. Would never do something so reckless. There should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Okay, she's talking. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brat who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying that everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I had been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. She moves around so much to do so little. Sorry. There. As I assured the court before, there is of no consequence at all. Oh, it is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? It's absurd. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Okay, she's talking. It would seem she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by the well-to-do women in England. So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. Nor more... Oh, wait. Perpetitious? Okay. Perpetitious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense. Are you in agreement? Well, no, really. If we want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show us some deeper significance. Yes, right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's deeper significance there. It's... Oh, great. I don't know if I got myself into a corner or not. Can I still save? Okay, I guess... I think I'll save, but just in case I'm saving it all to another file. I don't think there's any traps in here, given that it's the first trial, but I still get really nervous. I guess the handbag? Because she doesn't have that on her, I don't think. Wait, the lady put the glass in your handbag, you say? Yes. Do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brat stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brat's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brat's handbag. No! Got it. Oh, gee. Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Professor Aochi? Wait, did he say hold on, wait, did he actually say Professor? Oop. Oh, that's autoplay. Oops, this... Oh, wait. Oh, history is why. Oh, prosecutor. I misread prosecutor as professor. Okay, I knew I misread something. Prosecutor, oh gee. And I accidentally skipped dialogue because I was pushing the wrong buttons, I'm sorry. Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Oh my gosh, Hosonaga! Hosonaga! You do me to worry every single time. Freaking Hosonaga. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. Ooh, the music's getting tense. I have a piece of evidence here that I'd completely forgotten about. It's photographic print. This print of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brat's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. Prosecutor, Professor, potatoes, right? Nah, that's just me being clumsy. This is why I make it no secret whenever I'm talking about myself. I'm like, I am clumsy. Not to a great degree, but I will just, like, barely miss things. Not super clumsy, but I am clumsy. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. I don't get. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brat's guilt here. I want that photo, though. They both tilt their head and smile. I'm sorry, that was kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh no. Wow! I'm not doing that. Oh. Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Yeah, photograph added. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. I'm going to look at that photo. Yeah, there's that. Okay, it's just looking at stuff. I can't actually have them talk about things. What else do I have? Right, I can spin this. I love how they have 3D objects of the thing, because sometimes it's just fun to spin the thing. Okay, enough getting distracted. This is just viewing. Yeah, you can see the little bull mark on the plate. And it's got on his hand. That's... his thumb is towards his body, so that's it. In the body, and so that's his right arm. Yeah. Okay. That's important. I kind of remember why, but I will see if I can get it right. Oh, Ryunosuke. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court records appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed. and there's only one logical conclusion. That pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. Come on, Ryunosuke. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Oh, Kazuma. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? He's so upset. I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. The weaker meet while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There was no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. I'm really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit. Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain was slipped through his fingers. Kazuma? What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. I have one. But Ryunosuke needs to think of it. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That's smug a little. Ryunosuke's thinking. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I have... Yes! Oh gosh, again with the interrupt. Oop. Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case just yet. Objection! This amateurness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling. Those basic protocol of the courtroom. Yes! Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then the ruling on the case at this time will be out of the question. Objection! That is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. He's just dead set. You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, Consul. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution's becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. I'm gonna throw that back in your face. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. I only can put my finger on it. I know! I know! Hold out my hand. I know what it is! Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? Be warned that if I'm unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted for. I'm saving. I don't want to get a bad... I'll save over 3. attorney. I don't want to get a bad ruling because I pushed the wrong spot. I've actually had that happen before. I didn't quite hit the correct little hitbox for where the evidence was, and they're like, you got it wrong, and then I spent like 15 minutes trying to figure out how I got it wrong, and then I just tried it again and hit a different spot, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're totally right, that thing is totally abyss, and I'm like, gosh dang it. I was mad. I was like a pixel off, and it's just like, no, we don't see what you mean. I'm like, gosh dang it. Limitations of games. So I'm saving before I do this. You will identify for the court where in this print we can see the significant detail to which you have alluded. There. Right here. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna light up. See, this is why I got annoyed. Okay, I hope that's... Oh, wait, I have to hit X. Yes! There. A mark on his arm. Hand. Wrist? Wrist. Look at this here. It's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, and I was pondering what new piffle... How do I pronounce that? I think it's piffle. Yeah. Dear me, and I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist. Clearly, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. He never said it was the handbag. That was weird. Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Bet. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Aochi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. And Brat is talking, the lady. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brat has a lunch appointment with the dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. Dog. Stop opening doors. Puppy is being a nuisance. You're messing up my lighting, puppy. She just opened up the door and then just walked away. I'm like, you little brat. Maybe one thing if she walked in, I'd be like, annoying. My lighting's messed up. I need to close the door again. Whatever. You do that, but no, my dog's just like, I'm gonna open the door just to be a pain in the butt. Thanks, puppy. Love you too. Okay. So I was... Oh wait, no, this is Ryunosuke. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, quite right. Or wait, yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case. And do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. I like Ryunosuke's more sure of himself. He's not sweating bullets. He's just like, I have to keep going. Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. If we had evidence, Evidence that irrefutable links the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. Tell the truth, I didn't notice that burn. But as soon as you pointed out, I did notice, is the color draining from Miss Brat's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. I have a pretty good idea what it is. I'm gonna smack him. I'm pretty sure he has an animation of the smack him in his face. Maybe he doesn't. Oh wait, that's for... Right. This is a moment of truth. Trying to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. Evidence that demonstrates an The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. It's right in this one. Yeah, this is the one with the plate. Yeah, this is the one with the plate. This. Yes! What's this, counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe the photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brat. He's not responding to that. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How? Objection! Bad, ouchie. Can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, let us see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. But in this photograph, that explains the reasons for the victim's burn. The little thing here. Make sure I'm on it, because, again, I feel like I need to move it over a tiny bit. Oh gosh. Okay, well, that's gonna have to do, hopefully. The beef steak? No, the plate. Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate? Ah! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ah! Yunosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Objection! But even if that was the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Oh. Sadly, Professor Ouchie, the chances that are... I said Professor again, didn't I? Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I don't. Can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster. Certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific then, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I'm investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already. I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter! Yeah, but he was waitery. Yes! There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would have screamed in pain. There's no question of that. And yet then, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antiques dealer, all of us would without any question have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Aochi? Oh, well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. He's getting more intense. I love it. He's so scared in the beginning, but now he's standing upright and he's just turning things around. I like even like Kazuma doesn't notice this, and we've had it so like Kazuma going like, I'm glad you noticed, or he'll just interject for Ryunosuke because he understands what Ryunosuke is trying to get at too. But this is the first time Ryunosuke has noticed something before Kazuma, and I love that detail. So I need a drinky drink. I'm gonna move over so you can see, boop, teacup, sort of, a little bit. I'm having my tea. Because doing all these voices is a little bit hard on my throat. Maybe I should get a lozenge after this. That might... I mean, I'm not sick or anything, but it's still good for your throat, I guess. I need to be nice to my poor voice. Okay. That's enough for now. Oh, just because I feel like it. Swishy, 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 swishy. I'm being silly. Okay. Let me scooch over. Scooty, scooty, scooty. Alright. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. That day in question, and except for the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. That was my first thought. I don't think he was asleep. And definitely would not have noticed the burn. He was already deceased. No man could have remained silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. It's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already? Dead? She's not happy about that. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. Or more of he died shortly after. That's madness! Order! Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
Councilman says, no, Prosecutor Aochi, it is you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, the whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brat knows something about it. Incredible. Certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. Sorry to say, Miss Brat, but you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass a judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. She's just been quiet the whole time. Okay. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
This voice is fun to do.
Miss Brat.
By the way, she started speaking Japanese. Just in case anyone's not looking at the screen.
Miss Brat, you speak
Japanese? She's been able to respond to you without having somebody talk to her in her ear. Have you not noticed? Oh, so Naga! His face. He's utterly dumbstruck. Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country, after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is most refined and elegant a language in the world.
Oh, is the most refined. I don't know about that, lady, but okay. Agree to disagree.
As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Rude lady. Very rude lady. Extremely rude lady. They don't know how to respond to that.
But it seems the men in this land, quote, possess none of the chivalrous virtues of an English gentleman. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all in your own level. Oh, well... You are the epitaph. You are the epitaph of a true English gentlewoman.
I love your double snob lady voice. It is fun to do. I'm having a good time doing the voice. I'm like, I'm gonna give you a cutesy, airy voice. This is fun to do. I wish you were a better person. I actually do like the voice I'm doing. I don't like the character. Okay.
We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afforded us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brat, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. I don't think she has eyes. Like from a model standpoint. So, we're finally getting to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Witness testimony. The victim's death.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist right like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably won't pick up on it anyway.
You're such a little brat. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court history. Thank you. Easy does it.
I hope this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue.
You're such a jerk, lady.
Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
I am insulted. You're such a jerk.
Not at all. It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. You'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Huh? Thanks. Was that prayer then?
Well, you have to forgive their irritation, Miss Brat, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I love Kazuma. He doesn't like this lady. He's like, do not pick on my friend. I love this duo. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Consul, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yep. Nope. Smack his face. Awake now. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. I think this is one to just talk to her all throughout, so we'll see. The victim's death. Ah. What did I just hear? It sounded like a car rev. The amount of times I've been streaming to just hear something weird happening, I'm like, was that in the game or did I mishear something? I'm just like, what? Oh boy. Anyway. Yes! It's gonna press on everything. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed.
You think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry.
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers... You cannot have noticed, can you?
Oh, what? Ah!
Haha, what fun! You hadn't realized!
Osanaga. Everyone's getting up, okay. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Rinowski. Why didn't you tell me? Oh gosh. I can't help but laugh. Oh gosh, that's secondhand embarrassment. I'm skipping through this. Oh wait. Dr. Wilson was an English gentleman.
He chose honorable silence over vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Well, I can't.
Anyway.
Wait, was it the one? Is there another way I can take a bite? No. I feel like it just might be this one. Yes!
Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot or strangled, stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there's always a telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, my dear lady.
And our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased. There can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosanaga? As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heavens forbid, you doubt me, young man, I'm going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh, perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Aochi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspirations. A way to kill someone with that leaves no trace. Need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Ooh, I think I know what I have to do. Part. Okay, yeah, I think I just have to press on everything. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of the others in court, it means bless you.
No, it doesn't.
I think it means the exact opposite.
Ryunosuke knows enough English to be like,
Anyway, on to pressing.
Yes! Just keep going down the statements.
Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhaging... I think that's hemorrhaging? Fatal hemorrhaging from ballistic trauma.
Bled to death from bullet wound. Though it wasn't really... Anyway.
Yes.
Lucky for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
That doesn't make any sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
Attention! And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Unless you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Professor Aochi is right. Prosecutor Aochi is right. There.
Lady.
Okay, we did this one. Right. Okay, yeah. This is the last one.
Yes! Yeah, inferior investigation. Rude, lady.
Inferior? What do you mean by that? The lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
That's right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means even if the investigation takes
a different
Hi. Oh. Okay, I might have to let this play out before it lets me do this mechanic. Where was I? I got interrupted by Hosonaga coughing. Just start from the top then.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to your native detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as technical about this as I can. You understand?
A killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. It's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense.
Very much doubt that.
Still, there's something about what Miss Brat just said. There's a moment before when something didn't quite seem quite right.
Asanaga! How do I do that? What do you think, Ryunosuke?
I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony. The cross-examination would be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a kink in her armor. Kazuma.
I like the little look up thing. He's not just looking at him. It takes their time to make Kazuma look up at Ryunosuke. He's got his attention. I love all the little details.
What's Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me.
Bothering you?
You mean about Miss Brat? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga.
He's like, you called? I heard my name.
The detective? Yes. He seemed to read a little strangely to Miss Brat's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. It might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on the last statement one more time. Who thinks so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking.
Game mechanic!
Find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brat on her last statement again.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I do like the little animation. She's so smug, but I don't like her. Yes! Sure, I don't push the wrong button. Okay, just skip through the dialogue. So you just heard that already, and I don't want to read it out again.
Wait.
Okay. Can I... Oop. Do I have to click again? Yeah, okay, yeah, I do. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brat as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to somebody else speak, you'll find that they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. Kazuma's theme! I love this song. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It all has to do with the witness's marker. What marker? I can't see game mechanics. What are you talking about, Kazuma? Yeah. Okay, so... I guess I'll read this. I'm like, I don't know if I should skip it or not. Just through it. Be like, it's game mechanic explaining. But yeah. Let's see. At the moment, we're focusing on Miss Brat, who's the person actually making the current statement. And they just switch. And moving the marker left and right. Okay, so it's the directional stuff. And turn your attention on people in the stand. I'm gonna read through this, like, pretty quickly. Yeah, and then you'll be able to pursue by clicking on the other person. Basically, you might... Okay. You can catch the person at just the right time. You can uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere among the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then. Suppose sure student move. Okay. Game mechanics.
Wait.
Is he gonna let me? Okay, there. Let me.
Excuse me.
Oh. God! What the? Oh no, he went into a coughing fit again. I spooked. He's startled as much as I do. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What's the meaning of this?
It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over. Immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. Hmm? The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brat? Well, yes, if you don't mind. I would like to speak. She's like, oh, what is this man gonna say? The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Oh, and he off he goes into a coffee fit. Hosonaga. Crime scene thief. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water, and I don't care what anyone else says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle, I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. He's very enthusiastic, much to his detriment of his health. Oh my gosh, Hosonaga! Can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. The carbonated water bottle has been entered into court record. Miss Brat. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank the other day of the victim's death? Or at the day of the victim's death? Yes, that was the bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, Consul. You may resume the cross-examination. Let me check. I want to check this out first. I can just spin this around. Yeah, you can see the water. I can put it upside down, but nothing happens. It's all rather silly. Okay. Can I put it in the bottle? Oh, right. Let me move. Hello. You can do this, yeah.
So, this is carbonated water. Oh, wait. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had.
Rather sad drink. Last drink.
Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. Just have a sip of this to keep me going.
Ryunosuke, no. No, Ryunosuke! You can't do that! For one thing, that's evidence. You keep drinking evidence.
Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? Never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke.
More ways than one.
I wonder, could there be anything in this water?
What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden.
I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility.
Yep. I kind of figured that out too. I'm blocking the way now. just scooch down. I don't know if they say anything interesting or useful for the label. Do you guys say anything interesting to the label? Yeah. Hello, I'm back up.
The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma?
I think it's French. It's gonna be very expensive water.
Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking.
Then go to France and ask.
You could just say that you don't know.
Okay, that was worth clicking on. Kazuma was like, it's in French. Because it looks like French writing. It's in French. And then just like, I think he got annoyed because he's like, Ryunosuke, I don't know how to read French. I didn't think I needed to explain that. And he gets a little bit annoyed. Okay. Well, I think that's examined now. Let's get back to this. And then Spectre will kindly control his fervor. Him. Yeah, Osanaga, please remain silent. Okay. Inside is toast. There's some way a man's life can be taken out of the interest to show me. I think this is the point, but I'm gonna save quickly. Because again, sometimes I get ahead of myself. I don't think I am, but just in case.
Listen.
And I think it should be here because it says "do show me." It's just not very subtly going, "Hey, here." I imagine.
Yes!
Okay, the music did cut out. What is this? The bottle of water.
Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, you know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside?
Osanaga was like, ah!
Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass?
Order! Order! Order!
And on that day, he was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink. There's only one person who could have possibly done it. Giselle Brat, it was you.
Objection!
The gloves have been thrown.
It's outrageous! To suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile, have you ever considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling what your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political area.
This is a trial to determine one's individual guilt with respect to one crime.
What?
That's a funny thing to say. Wait for it, Kazuma. The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Ugh.
Ahem, if I may.
I will silence you forever for this.
It is you who should be silent.
Of course.
I love how she has her own little thing of just shut up. I will admit that is really funny.
Dear lady.
Where did that come from? She just snapped.
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I describe your police force as inferior. And no matter how inferior they may be, I still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector. And whether it contained poison or not.
I also love how she just says shut up. I know, it's great. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Of course. You did?
Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already?
I strive for a flawless investigation every time.
Don't believe it.
Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And? What did you find, Inspector?
I ordered the test from every toxin that's available in this country at present time.
You don't have to like the characters, but you can't appreciate the VA's work. This is true, Frigu. This is true. Yeah, okay.
You could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency.
What? Are you sure?
The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself.
No! No!
I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady. The pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure.
This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Consul. I think the cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit.
Done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brat.
Oh no. Just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the consul for the defense. Oh, wait. What was that? Before proceeding, I must ask the consul for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Oh.
Kazuma?
He's I'm sorry, Runosuke. Nothing more.
Well, excuse me now. I really must be leaving.
Hold it!
I was waiting for that. Susato! Hello. Please wait.
Isn't that...
What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Mikotoba? Yeah, it's his daughter. In my darkest hour, nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in furoshiki cloth. Susato's ready. She's like, oh. Ooh, do I want to stop here or do I want to continue? I don't know how long this... I don't really... I probably could get it done, but it's gonna be a bit over. This next bit should be fairly quick. Somewhat. Okay. I do want to get through this today, but we'll see. This should be not too much more. I'll still save it. But always save. 22nd November, 1:14 p.m. That took like an hour. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Yeah. Well, I understand you're the judicial assistant to the defense, but why the sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant, and a woman no less. The rules state that females are not permitted in this court of law other than to testify.
Yes, I fully understand. Only ask for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence I must hand over to the defense.
Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I'll not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency!
I am most grateful.
Hello. I have more friends.
Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please simply accept this for now.
What is this? A report about something. Written in English.
It's Giselle's Brat's research.
Englishwoman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical facility and borrowed this paper.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brat was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare? What is that? I've never heard that word before.
Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. Rude!
There's too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful, thank you. So, report added. Okay. No, I'm gonna look at it right now. Actually, no, I'll let Samantha go.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
Bows. Also, I saw Asogi's little bow. You had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guests any longer. Yes, we can. I'm checking the report. Okay. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Route of entry. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it is believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of a full-body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. I think we found our poison. Alright. She's not happy. I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present the court? Presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Yunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, The defense does have a new evidence. That look. That unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brat?
Yes, Your Excellency?
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time.
Yep, she gets cut off. Forgive me, Miss Brat, but it seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however. I must ask you to treat that as an order. She's not happy.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. Read the room, lady. So, counsel. What is this new What is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? This.
Yes!
Miss Giselle's Brat. I understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University doing research. No response. Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, Consul? A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? Never heard of it. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean, you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct, which means no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'll never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What? Yeah, that's kind of how it works. If you don't have a test for it, you're not going to test for it. Be able to figure out it's there. Order, order, order! Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists. To lace their arrows? The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by the arrows, laced with curare, suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brat? Happy. Trump-free. These aspirations are utter triumph-free. To start with, if the victim had administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed. That's true. What say you to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. But I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Consul. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims use all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there'd be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. With a trail under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respirate. Messing up on the word. Breathing to fail. I'm just not gonna be able to say it right now. Breathing? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. All the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's heinous. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. Everyone's like, and you're suggesting that this bottle, Consul, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing? What a happy tale for the defense.
If I may.
All these facts, you think you're so clever, but you must be taught.
Yeah, I've gotta hear it again. It's you who must be taught.
Of course. Dear lady!
He's so unhappy about that. I still really like that. Just shut up. He's so done. I just needed a little bit more drinky drinks. Okay. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brat, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. Actually, before you dehydrate, yep. Actually, you might hydrate and then you dehydrate. In this case, that's. That is really a loathsome act, wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brat?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not? Oh. Has to do that most like.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant island boys.
Sorry?
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end.
Cheers! I'm not repeating myself. Wait, what? What are you doing? She drank a glass of water for the poison bottle.
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Also, you were only bold enough to do that if you knew there wasn't poison in the bottle, lady. Everyone's quiet.
Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brat.
Should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Ah, yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. Oh, Ryunosuke. This doesn't make sense. There has to have been poison in that bottle. So how? What did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? Because it's not in the bottle. It can be at one other place, you dingus. I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose, if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to have been poison in that bottle, isn't there? There can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. What the clues now? A lot of water? No, I don't think there's any poison in the bottle. So I thought there is no poison in that bottle. What? Why? Ryunosuke. Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now. Sometimes your unadulterated naivete really astounds me. Sometimes it's in need of a good staining until it is as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. Oh, is that what this color's supposed to represent? What was the guideless ending to a promising life? Oh wait, no. Okay. Okay. So I had to choose the other way. Oh, that's fine. What about... Why is it containing poison? Culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Well, it may not be in the bottle. That's so misleading. You'd say the water is still poison, or the water wasn't poison. That would at least make... Don't put the bottle, rude game. Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way the bottle contained poison. I mean, we just saw... Miss Brat drinking the water from it?
That's right. It rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly?
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. Has to be. Yeah, she took the glass. It's in the glass. That's why she took it. Come on. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert its claim, I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. It explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed. Can I save now? Yes, I can. I don't want to mess up again because, look. Isn't it just showing the... Because it was poison was in the glass, I think. Or do I need to show that solution for the respiratory arrest causes result? I'm not sure if it's here. Okay. Maybe I do show this again. Above mentioned. Oh, poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Oh, okay, so it's wound. Okay, yeah, I do show the book again. Yeah, okay.
Yes!
Maybe? The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brat's own research report.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all, we don't speak English. The report is uttered gibberish. It's impudent young scoundrels trying to ridicule your report, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. Just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to the riddle? It's special characteristics, I think. Check that. Ooh. That's the middle one. Yeah, synopsis, special characteristics. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of the arrows they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes? And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be trace of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, counsel. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Basically, the poison needs to go in the bloodstream.
Through a wound, you say? I see, makes sense. Yes, the method of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever.
What?
Miss Brat, you authored this research. You knew curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you can make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself.
You meddling little...
Oh. Rapscallion! The bird is angry.
Well, Ryunosuke, turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how it...
So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish? Flaw?
As even your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastronomic...
Succus? Gastronomic acid makes poison not effective.
Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers. What are they?
Acid in your stomach.
So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
Ah. That's right.
Good gracious.
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Order! Order in this court! Order! Logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest?
Yes! This curare poison's completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
That's right.
Surely even a little cockroach like you would understand something as simple as that.
You black and white. You really ruffled her feathers. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense. Almost rage-like. More than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Yay, pose! We get a proper objection in pose. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brat.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. I know exactly why. Though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive. Dr. Wilson is dead. I like how her mask is just closer to make her eyes like popping out. The animations and poses in this game are great. My dog's going nuts. Hi, puppy. Don't start barking, please. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. But Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare. Where's the picture with the hand in it? Oh, this one? Yeah, I think I need to show the burn mark.
Take that!
Hope this is correct. Nope. I'm sorry, Counsel. Ah, okay. Listen, Ryunosuke. Oh. My doctor has a glass of water. Oh! The dental stuff. Okay. Just skip through that. Yeah. He's got this.
Take that!
Okay. As Miss Brat so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, the fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference? Toxic effects of curare only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poison water?
Inside?
Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Everyone's screaming. Miss Brat, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. Use that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are also purlé. What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough.
Oh my gosh.
You see, when you leave vital evidence laying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No!
I mean, it could just slip. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
She really is just a brat. No! What is this? What just happened? It's the English woman. She just smashed the bottle. In the Supreme Court, what a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect as much of the water from the broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here is a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
How could you? You won't get away with this.
Then thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not.
You?
Let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady.
That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed a victim that day using your kurare. And then, in order to frame Yunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see? You had every opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
It's unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now she's really going to get away with it. The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke.
Yes? Come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean?
Lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any other clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on.
Well, yes, that's true, but
I didn't imagine to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
I saw and I felt.
Every color. Oh.
Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to exposing the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer?
Of course there has to be a clue.
Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Looking back over everything I saw, I might have uncovered another clue.
Haha. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that English woman's face with some evidence.
Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling at me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it could be, the key to arriving at the truth. Oh, whatever it could be. Oh, whatever it is, it could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. Here somewhere. Who that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is... Okay. The stain?
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this.
He's surprised.
Yes? What is it? Oh, he's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Attention!
Wait a minute.
Shut up!
Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that has been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in the photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw on that wood base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, it can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph. And relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could end up directly behind him. Aha! Yes. Well, to have made it onto the plate implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite to the professor as you were. Giselle Brat? I beg your pardon?
Attention!
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expecting to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Ryunosuke has...
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean? Yes. I took the plate in interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all. And I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what?
I took the steak that you've been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
Hosonaga is such a treat.
And we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. Let's examine it now.
Okay, this might be longer than I thought, but I want to get through this first case. Inspector! This guy is very determined to do things well. Yes, he is. Hosonaga is a treat. The court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir! And okay. Setting things up.
Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't!
Quickly, Inspector, the blood man, show the court. Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure.
There's big bite marks out of it.
No, no blood. No blood anywhere. But no. That's impossible! I know. I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There's blood on the side of the plate. And unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you.
Rude! I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire.
I believe we may finally reach a conclusion of this trial.
Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over.
I'll re-investigate.
Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. The sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again. Be my guest.
I will.
Is the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost.
Okay, we're gonna get Peppa. Yeah, you know what, I'll... Yonosuke. Not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Hmm? Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what. Come on, get up. He's sweating bullets.
Believe in myself, really? I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
Okay, this is a good stop. Part 2. Look. Alright. Before I click anything, I'm moving over here for it preemptively. Ooh. Wrong thing. There we go. I'm kind of blocking the way, but oh well. Okay. Actually, just click the stake. There's a coin underneath the stake. Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. The hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. It's the old grandpa with the knives coin! No, I don't mean what it is. What it is. I mean, what is it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. Imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I never heard of bullion and bullion. I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... It's not the right thing. Can I click on this? Oop. I'm blocking it, I'm sorry. Symbol on the side of the plate. Is it a cat? It's a bull. It's a cow, obviously. Okay, kind of fitting I'm blocking it. Horns, I need a face like that way, though. Oh well. It's likely because the restaurant's signature difference beef steak. Seems a lot different from... It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware. This is a symbol of La Canavara, is it? Okay. I think we kind of have our... Yeah. I think we just needed to know the coin was there. Alright, I need to... scoot back over. Whee! Okay. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objections? Let's say I was going to cinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Yeah, there's another clue. Your Excellency, please wait. The plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that revealed the shocking truth.
Objection!
How would she let it go? The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak.
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessarily procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brat, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. It's newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense, you are now clearly show the court as to what you're alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is a new clue to be found? Under the beef. Oh my gosh, are you really gonna get Freck out again? Also, I did not expect you guys to show up. I'm not going to make myself bigger. Huh? Oh, okay, this is the same thing. Okay, I'm just skipping through this, Cat, no. No jumping on my desk. Good girl. Stay down. Stay. Stay. Alright. The coin. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. No, it's just saying the coin again. I'm pushing the wrong button. Are you chewing on things? You better not be chewing on things, you little brat.
Got it!
It's a coin. It's covered in beef juices. Good gracious, that's... Koban? What on earth? Ahoy era one. Ho'e era one at that. Miss Brat, this is in fact the beef steak you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
Shut up!
Ridiculous question. How should I know? Never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
Failed to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat. Could simply have been a careless mistake of the chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Everyone's talking now. Be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this has happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Ho'e koban just happens to be hidden underneath a piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. Can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Consul? A rare Ho'e koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If it turns out to be irrelevant to the case, give up my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Shut up!
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Though I'm the one on trial here? Point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what he's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. Oh, I have to show... Where's the old man on here? Old man with a knife. And a lot of other things. Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer, the owner of the Race Sutai. Kurio Korekuta-san. Kurai? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that it's up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. Yeah, the old man could not find it. Yeah, he was looking for the coin on the floor. I'm skipping through this because we've seen this already. We're getting close to the end. I want to get there. And this Ho'e era koban, do you mean to tell me...
Objection!
No. Please, why would Korekuta-san's koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense
Yes!
because it's not his... Yes.
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korekuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I don't believe we've come back around to that pair again. I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we trace down the real significance of this koban, we'll find out it's a key element in the case. Yeah, because it's the military man's thing, because he was acting sketchy every time it was brought up. This kid is not happy. Hello there. What is this all about? Have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Aido? My son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police, we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Raisute shop owner's existence.
Be as that may, Kore Kutasan, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as you Rasute... Oh. The knife went in his foot. Oh, lovely. Or at least in his boot. Okay, it's his coin.
The resplendent, differless Hawaii court treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day.
It can't be. As I thought.
Young man! Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaked in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hawaii treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would dare? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing?
He's so mad. Grandma has a dagger too. Not Grandma, Grandpa! Everyone's like, oh gosh. Excuse me. Can I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover at the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Yes, that's right, the secret undercover operation.
La Carnivara is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similar executed thefts, targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job as a waiter at the restaurant in order to flesh out the criminal. It seems likely that this koban incident is the work of the same thief. Unbeknownst to us, there's a master thief in the at work at the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid in the Korekuta-san's koban is all too clear.
What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on the matter. I scared my cat doing that voice. I'm so sorry. Tell us, who was the despicable scoundrel who stole Korekuta-san's koban and hid it under the steak? Well, this dude.
Take that!
Obviously. It can only be you. Sergeant E.A. Sa-Nosa. What? How? How dare you? You monster. Monster? I stole the koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnivara, am I? You seriously accuse me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Aido. Aido was the mastermind behind all this. Don't blame your kid! Kid attack. Everyone's stunned to silence. Who would push the blame for your crimes on your own son? Innocent little baby. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Are we getting a breakdown? Yep. Get him, Mido! Whippity clop, whippity clop. Clop was a horsey now. And I think the kid just broke his back. Baby did a number. Baby's good at that, though. Nippon Imperial Sergeant Iyasa Nosa preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. He got caught. Hello. He's just, no, baby. Do any of you know the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recent ended conflicts remains in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes? All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. Place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. Then I enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worrying behavior. And your target that day was the old man in his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped a coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A venerable phantom thief you are. It's all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as best as I could. On the double. Slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Everyone's quiet. Letting that all sink in, huh? Even Aochi. There's Kazuma. Everyone else. The old man is cranky. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattle in your own time. Miss Brat? Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. Yes, there is. It's not her plate we saw. We need to look at the other plate. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency. Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would clearly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an ideal astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well, oof. As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness' testimony have been answered, see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brat, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
Inosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just something about Miss Brat's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said just jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere, something that didn't quite add up. Was there? Very well, all the questions concerning this witness. Oh, okay, I get where this is going now.
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking, make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Oh. Wait, Miss Brat. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
What new student nonsense is this?
Well, parting words you were talking about, Ryunosuke.
The cutlery one.
I didn't going to lump of meat. Sheer nonsense if such idea astonishes me.
Yeah. The cutlery. I just kind of skipped through that on accident, but yeah, it's the cutlery.
Yes, I'm right. She said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
I'm going to need some evidence, counsel. Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory. Where's the evidence to prove it? I think it's just the plate of meat.
Take that!
The steak Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Something about the steak strike you as very unnatural.
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. Talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten.
She gets it.
So you noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could ever contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Take a good look at the steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten.
It just looks like it's been wolfed down.
As you can see, there's clearly a defined
Why am I having trouble saying that?
barbaric teeth marks there.
Ah! Oh,
She's not.
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
but what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously... Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course, of course. We're all over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put the rookie in his place.
Shut up!
I've heard enough.
You irritating, spectacled samurai relic. Of course. Dear lady!
This guy is a total pushover.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? You ruffled your feathers. Clearly, witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
I think so.
Yes, now at last. It all comes together. Mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seemed to have disappeared. And most importantly, evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Consul. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case.
Evidence that would prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up!
So mad. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been? What? But just because it hasn't shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? Can't be. I just don't believe you have it.
Objection!
I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. If that person's willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, we'll solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair? It's Hosonaga. He has the other plate of steak. Answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the steak with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. As well as admitting to stealing Korekuta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Attention! Affirmative, of course. Maybe a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal a coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. Even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Are you still alive? Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Sure you're not gonna suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over.
Who? It's quiet. Oh, gee.
You did switch the plates?
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lift my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If you decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. Beginning my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. So he switched the plates. With my military position and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign ladies' table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. He's a sneaky man. It's called Operation Lightning Bolt. No time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
Everyone shocked, even the lady. However, fear not, Prosecutor-san.
What now?
Swear on the brass buttons of my uniform that is all I did, sir.
Oh, you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, It means he took Miss Brett's steak, the plate it was on, back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. Ah! She's biting her mask. That's correct. And please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What do you think could possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady. I beg your pardon. Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak and promises to provide such a problem for you, no? Humph. The one to decide was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. He thinks he remembers. Not sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there's a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound on the victim's chest. I believe the defense memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further, Inspector. You will show us the evidence to the court. Present the beef steak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table in the time of the incident. Go to it, Hosonaga. He's all fired up. Yes, sir! I love Hosonaga. Okay. Sorry for keeping you. Oh yeah, this one's all cut nicely. There's other steak in its plate. Please, feel free to examine it. Yeah, there's definitely blood on there. The blood stain. It's clearly visible, look.
Yes!
Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everybody knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Jezebel Brat. It's you. Breakdown time? Feeling a bit droopy there. Outdone by a Japanese. Me? A Japanese schoolboy. No. No. No! Is that thing alive or not? Oh. Bye! She's screaming a bunch. There's baby birds! Also, wow. That's a cranky swan. Goodbye, lady. Baby birds! There's a little blackbird. Baby birdies. They look more like chickens than swans, though. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Some becoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth, this time. Gladly, Your Excellency.
was I who took the professor's life using curare. As you surmise, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of the poison would be found in his water, because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes, of course. I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. Only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose?
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over and greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
Plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
I knew she would be able to conceal it! Crinolines are nuts! There's a lot of room.
Under your skirt.
So I was right. There were two guns.
Yes.
And I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up,
Bang. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Although at that point he was already dead.
naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I had assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun. And that's the truth. This took a little longer than I thought it would get to, but we're gonna get through it.
So there you have it. That's the entirety of my misdemeanor.
Quiet. Everyone's silent.
Your Excellency,
Yes?
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
She does a little curtsy. Off she goes. She was very collected at the end there. Yep, it's down to the courtroom. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Taketsuchi, oh, she does not lose. With the likes of this rookie student.
Better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ugh! Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, Consul. The old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Kazuma. Kazuma! It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Ryunosuke moved out of the way. He cut the top knot. That was very insulting. Nice swordplay there, my dude. Pretty sword. 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. Kazuma's just like, my friend's never backing down. I love Kazuma. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern mythology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But Western ideals of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. What it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. I can! That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Sogi. Yes? After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery through the illustrious British Empire. Learn all that you can. Observe everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. Okay. I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Ah, never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry on that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. He's back to being freaked out. Oh, hi! I wasn't expecting to be that close. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty! Woo! Ooh, Sakura! Battles, 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 battles. This court is now adjourned. And now we just have a little post dialogue to do, and then I need to call it good. 22nd November. Oh wow, it's nearly 3. Okay, you're gonna have to pause and read that later if you want to know. They're back in the antechamber. Can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Yunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget! Good afternoon. Your hard work has certainly paid off. Susato! Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Ah, a trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brat's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Not good. The kind words should really be for my father. I'm simply doing as he asked. This is ideal for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Ah yes, of course. Yeah, it's Miko... Miko... Anyway. Susato Miko. Miko Toba. Yeah, Miko Toba. Yeah. It's Miko Toba's daughter. Miko Toba is her dad. And Miko Toba? Ah, there you are. I believe your congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Oh gosh.
You doing okay, kitty? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I almost did a faceplant. Kitty will be okay. She got some help. But, I've been sitting too long, I nearly faceplanted. Boy. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Oh. The thing got hit. Hold on. Which one is this? This one. Okay, that should, yep, there we go. I whacked the cord in my panic. Exactly. Those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now, besides. It's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. The Japanese man katana is the soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brat, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's gonna face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brat will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? Why not? It's a matter of considerable jurisdiction. Oh, Hosonaga. Inspector Hosonaga! It's a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate. What was this about constitutional jurisdiction? I cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? Can't try her? Then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice? The British Consular Court will hear her case somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. Why would a consular court... Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. And so long as it's not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective government, you can't evoke a consular court like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brat can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid for the young student, today's trial is nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has determined that we'll hand over custody of Miss Brat. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. Oh, everyone's down now. It's all going to change from now on. You make a change. This is a time of great turmoil. It's a new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming. We're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But, Professor... You're right. There's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. Hello, Hosonaga. In that case, might I suggest La Carnivara? As a head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. Hosonaga, go get and see a doctor. To La Carnival. Will you accompany us, Professor? Well, of course. La Carnival's food is second to none. Says that though. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh, yes, thank you. Wow. Yay. So Jezebel Brat won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma? Yes, Ryunosuke? Just want to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I can't help but thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. And you have a natural talent for it. Being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. Intense verbal combat? Never want to go through that ever again. I just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? The defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. You believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. On some supernatural ability to know the truth. You have to make a choice about what to... what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending somebody. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in, even then, well, that's not something anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believe in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. Ooh. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Sounds serious. What is... Ah! You're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go! Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. Should be celebrating right now your first court victory. More study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah yes, that too. At the end. Okay. This went on far longer than I was expecting. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga. Didn't really play much of a part, but still, he played a lot of part. Ryunosuke don't lie. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize how much it would change my life. I think that's okay. I like that playing the song. Yes, okay. Alright. That took far longer than I was expecting. But that is the first trial of Ace Attorney. The Great Ace Attorney. Oh, I love it. I especially love, just one point before I properly wrap this up, is just how Naruhodo goes from being a nervous wreck that can barely speak to him solving things that other people can't and then just saying out. And then the first subjection we get out of him with a pose, I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. This is gonna be good. When the first trial's more than just a straightforward little tutorial, you know the rest is gonna be good. Because that feels like a proper trial. Yeah, there's gonna be some long streams. Yeah, maybe. I might have to break up the streams more than I was expecting. I was just hoping to get this one to be in 2 streams, so this might be my only long one. The other ones I probably just have to break up more. I'll probably just have the continued. I just really wanted this first trial in 2 streams, because I didn't want the first trial to be more than 2 streams, because you know it's the first trial. So yeah, but yeah, I think I'll just whatever the pause is now. There's definitely gonna be more. Because it seems like they're paced out about every 2 hours or so. So I think I'll keep to that for now, but no. I can only get it with them a longer stream every now and then, otherwise I'm gonna get people mad at me. I'm not the only one who lives here and has to use the internet and all that. So anyway, speaking of, I need to wrap up, so I hope you enjoyed it, because I gotta go. But thank you all so much for coming. I very much appreciate it. Quickly, the like, comment, subscribe, because algorithm, and just for my own personal knowledge if you like this content or not, so if I should keep doing this or games like it and all that, it'd be very helpful. But for now, I must leave you all with a bye-bye, and I hope to see you some other time.